Yes, NFL headlines. Derek Carr is now a New Orleans Saint. Let's be honest, I didn't think it'd only be a 4-year deal. $150 million, I guess $100's guaranteed. They can get out after 2 years. If it doesn't work out, he gets reunited with Coach Allen, who's the guy that originally drafted him to be, I think, with the Oakland Raiders, if I have that correct. And that means teams like the New York Jets now got all their proverbial eggs in one basket. We'll get to them in a second. Here's the reality. Derek Carr being a New Orleans Saint means that the New Orleans Saints, in a division that has no real quarterbacks. Tampa ain't got a quarterback. Carolina ain't got a quarterback. There's no quarterbacks. Atlanta don't have a quarterback. So you now have a team, a division, 4 teams, no quarterbacks. Cuz shows up. He's automatically the best quarterback in the division. They do have a good defense. They got some young emerging wide receivers. I'm not sure if Alvin Kamara is playing this year because of the situation with, dropping that dude in the elevator about a year ago. But it makes sense for a guy that's never won a playoff game, Plax. You now are going to be a division winner, most likely. Home playoff game. And boy, the road to a Super Bowl does not involve guys like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and many other guys in the AFC. Not stupid.
I look at the contract, I'm saying to myself, Derek Carr, it's a lot of money in this deal. I don't think anybody else in the league probably would have given him this contract. But for him to leave Vegas, well, he didn't leave Vegas. Right. They don't want him there anymore as a quarterback. But, leaving Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller, you just don't have those kind of weapons down there in New Orleans. Maybe Michael Thomas if he gets back healthy. And we don't know the Alvin Kamara situation, but moving forward, they probably will win the NFC South because, just like you said, he's the best quarterback in that division, which is not. Here's
what I don't get. Maybe you could explain to me. Cody's a Raider fan. I don't think Cody gets it either, to be frank with you. I don't understand why they got rid of him.
Me?
Like we're talking about Derek Carr as Jet fans like he'd be the savior. The Saints, he's the savior, right? Mm-hmm. The Raiders got the guy. He said famously a couple years ago he wanted to die as a Raider.
Yes.
That's all he ever wanted to do was be an Oakland Raider, now a Vegas Raider, right? His family's there, 4 young kids, the whole bit, and he's a very good quarterback, if not elite. Why would the Raiders give up on him? They don't have a backup quarterback right now, and while they may think they have a chance of getting Aaron Rodgers, I get that. The Jets think they do too. I'm trying to figure out why so many teams were clamoring for Derek Carr, and the Raiders said, not only do we not want you here, we don't want you anywhere near the franchise for the last couple weeks of the season.
Hey, there's something going on behind closed doors that we don't know about. I think with Devontae Adams reuniting with him in Vegas, they expected to be a lot better. I think everybody did. But for him to start the season off basically 3-8, it was kind of an embarrassment to the organization. So I think that's one of the things that, kind of plagued him, moving forward with this team, because I'm thinking to myself, listen, he has Devontae Adams. He went out and had another all-pro year, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, whatever the case may be. But for them to just give up on Derek Carr just doesn't make sense. But one thing is for sure, he's going from one great party city to another.
That's right.
He's going from Vegas to New Orleans.
Here's the problem. He's not me, you, or you. No. This is a different cat. This is not a guy that's out at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get scrambled eggs in downtown Chicago. That ain't him. This is a different dude. Because there were a couple guys like, he doesn't curse enough for New York. He doesn't. He won't in Jordan. Like, he live in Jersey, first off. He ain't going to be in New York City. But it is interesting that the Raiders, like McDaniels, got rid of him. And frankly, I thought embarrassed Derek Carr at the end. Like, Derek Carr's a dude who cried at a press conference about how much a loss meant to him.
Right.
And Devontae loves him. That's why he went there. And you got Waller, like you said, and the best running back arguably in football in Jacobs. And they're like, we can't win with you. You don't have an answer.
Doesn't make sense.
Last I checked, I don't remember Derek Carr giving up 3 17-point leads on defense. That was his defense that did that.
Yeah.
So none of it made sense
now,
as a
New
Raider
Orleans
fan.
defense is better.
Way
you give them that. They are above average defense, but they're also not the second coming of the '85 Bears, neither.
Well, him going to the NFC does give him an opportunity to get to the playoffs because him remaining the quarterback in the AFC West playing in that division, he probably wouldn't make the playoffs again this year.
That brings us to Aaron Rodgers. I'm already sick and tired of this dude and this whole story. Only because I am. Like I told you guys when this whole stupid dark retreat thing happened that he was playing all of us. We all thought he was going to come out of the wilderness like, ha, I'm here. Guess what? I want to be a Jet. First off, nobody says that.
Ever.
I mean, Plaxico did at the end because, they want to write a check. But outside of that, the reality is that dude came out of the wilderness a month ago, feels like, and nothing. He went to Cabo. Maybe he's in Hawaii. I don't know what the hell he's doing other than sleeping with a billionaire's daughter. And I got nothing but respect for that. That is not a stupid move.
No, great move.
I recommend that for everybody out
best
there.
move.
That's the smartest thing that dude's ever done.
Unquestionable.
Plus, she's attractive, too.
Yeah.
It's like marrying one of the Hunt girls, which is another story for another day. That being said, Aaron Rodgers, and this is what this dude loves. You know it. He loves the attention. He loves the fact that everyone's waiting and waiting and waiting. You would not have gotten along with this guy. You would have respected him as a quarterback. You probably would have liked Sundays at 1, but everything else you would have been like, I can't hang with this guy.
I mean, I really don't know Aaron personally, but I know he's a hell of a quarterback and he can put the football anywhere you want as a wide receiver. But, he just loves to be talked about. He's an attention junkie. He loves that we're sitting here talking about him again today. It's like every day it's the Aaron Rodgers saga. And everybody's really just hoping he gets to the Jets to be reunited with Nathaniel Hackett because that was his offensive coordinator when he was MVP of the league. But I've been saying, man, for him to come to the Jets, it just doesn't make sense. If he wants to get back to the playoffs and contend for a championship, the Jets are not the team.
I agree.
To get him there.
I agree. It's the same reason I thought Derek Carr going to New Orleans was smart for Derek Carr. Listen, I'm a Jet fan.
Right, I know you are.
And I do know, listen, we have a top 10 defense, a young defense. We've got what seems like really good emerging wide receiver talent. I'm not sure if Robert Sala's a good coach yet or not. But if I'm Aaron Rodgers, why would I leave a place I've been for 18 years, which I think I can make the playoffs again, and make a run without having to go through this litany of great quarterbacks? I'm with you. And you want to tell me he goes to the Raiders because of what you said, Jacobs, Waller, and Devontae? I get that too.
I believe so. If the Raiders have a good enough defense to, slow people down. I thought them bringing in Chandler Jones would help them tremendously on defense, but they let a few games get away from them. They lost like 4 or 5 games within a point or two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad fourth quarter defense.
Really bad.
So if they can score more points, they can compete in the AFC West. But to go to the Jets and hope to to be able to beat the Bills and to win the division and get to the playoffs, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, one guy that you know very well that is dying for Aaron Rodgers to leave Green Bay. This guy right here, the Chicago Bear fan right here. Is like, man, I can't beat Aaron Rodgers with Justin Fields as my quarterback, right?
We're getting close.
Justin Fields is awesome, though.
We're getting close.
We're getting close.
10 miles ain't close.
It's far away ways.
When Aaron Rodgers goes away, we're getting close.
Exactly. You want him to be a Jet more than I do.
Yeah,
all right, so play it out from a Jet perspective real quick. Aaron Rodgers decides, I'm not, like you said, I'm not going to play for the Jets. I respect the Jets, but I'm not going to play for the New York Jets. Right. The Jets are in a bad spot because the Jets obviously did make the offer to get Derek Carr. They don't get Aaron Rodgers. They are not starting the season with Zach Wilson as their quarterback. They've made that very clear, and Zach's play has made that very clear. So now you're looking at guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, Gardner Minshew. I mean, theoretically, you could make an argument that Ryan Tannehill. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, Gardner Minshew has the same exact numbers as Baker Mayfield for a career.
Baker Mayfield's another one.
And Baker was the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But if you're the New York Jets and you bring Derek Carr and you interview him and he chooses to go to the Saints, what does that say about your football team? What message does that send to Aaron Rodgers if Derek Carr himself doesn't want to be the quarterback of the New York Jets?
There's the possibility that the Jets didn't make him an offer because they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. No. So it's not just that he said no, it's that he wasn't willing to wait to play second fiddle.
I don't believe they bought him in just to look him in his face and say, oh, you look good today. No.
And I know they met him 2 or 3 times as well, face to face.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They definitely made him a contract.
Do you think it's possible that when they had dinner or lunch at the Italian restaurant in Summit, New Jersey, that Nathaniel Hackett wearing a hat indoors in a restaurant was enough to turn off Derek Carr because it's rude?
Well, it's quite clear that Nathaniel Hackett does not understand the etiquette of being eaten in Italian restaurants in New Jersey.
That's right.
You said you didn't even like that restaurant that much.
Now, you want to wear a hat in a sports bar? I'm good with it. You want to wear a hat in your house? I'm good with it. But when you go into an Italian restaurant in Summit, New Jersey, the lid comes off.
Yeah, talking about what happened to some 1987 Chateau Mona Lisa, some pasta. You got to take the hat off.
It wasn't that classy of a joint.
Somebody
Craig.
make too much money. Chateau, what was it now?
Chateau Mona Lisa, 1987.
Yeah, how much is that about? I think the Jets are going to be the Jets in this one. I agree with you. I don't think Aaron Rodgers. I never thought he was coming to the New York Jets, and I can't wait to see how the Jets try to spin getting whomever else it is. They're going to have a veteran quarterback being their QB1 this year, and whomever it is, it ain't Derek Carr and it ain't Aaron Rodgers.
That was Zach Wilson.
And I can't. It's not going to be Zach
I'm telling you,
Wilson.
they are. He drafted this man.
I don't care.
He got to stick with him.
Play.
It's his guy.
Listen,
he drafted him.
I don't care.
I'm telling you, he's
and
not
not go
going
against
anywhere.
Plax. You can't do it. There's a reason
I'll
you can't
say
do
this,
it.
I know, because Plaxico Burress was the only guy in America, he did it right on this show, that said that OBJ was not going to play football this year.
Yes,
he was
right.
the only guy
Only
that said
one.
it, and he said it back in early October, that OBJ was not going to play a down of football this year, and he was dead on right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't tear an ACL in the Super Bowl in February and expect to recover in 7 to 8 months.
Now, he'll play next year, but he
he'll play
said
next year.
that he was not going to play.
Plaxico over here.
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing with Zach Wilson, and I'll say this. It's like having a child that makes a lot of mistakes, but man, you love him, he's your kid, so you do everything you can to support the kid, right? And even though it pains you when you go to bed at night, what a rotten kid I have. That's what Zach Wilson is for the Jets, because like 2 or 3 days ago, Joe Douglas, the Jets general manager, again said, we believe that Zach Wilson is going to reach his ceiling of potential. And I'm going, have you seen this dude play?
First of all, how high is this ceiling we're talking about?
Has he hit the floor yet?
It's about 3 foot.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.